slow game, kind of a push and shove game. Did you like was the competitive spirit? What did you like most about this win for you guys?
Well, I love the fact that we came off that long road trip, 6-hour flight yesterday, 5:30 game against probably the most physical team in the league. They lead the league in fouls, and they play to their strength. Literally they are strong at every position, physical, and these are always hard games coming off these types of road trips, long trips, 3-hour time change. So thrilled with just the competitive spirit, the energy, the effort that it took to win a key game. I mean, every game's key, obviously, now, but the first game of a homestand, we knew it would be tricky regardless, just with the travel, but especially against a team like that that's playing so well and is so physical.
Can you describe what you saw on the play when Draymond hit the three? It looked like he was obviously trying to get to Steph. They kind of had Steph smothered.
Yeah. I mean, Detroit just decided we're going to make somebody else beat us. And so Draymond's guy just backed way into the paint and doubled Steph. And Draymond, one of his best qualities is his confidence, how brash he is. Did not hesitate, just rose up, and that thing was pure. Just never a doubt, and beautiful to see. And then, we make Moses makes the big steal. Draymond knocks down another free throw, and we were able to close the game.
Steve, you guys have won a lot of games lately, but this team is, like you said, it's a big team. They're athletic, and they also play kind of bully ball.
Yeah.
What do you take from your team to be able to pull a game like this out against a team like that? Because when the playoffs come around, you're probably going to see some of that kind of activity. Yeah,
it was physical. It was testy. A lot of pushing and shoving, and so to win a game like that, when clearly we were tired and trying to get our legs underneath us coming off that trip, it's a big time win. And I think Jimmy, this is part of the Jimmy dynamic. He's built for these kinds of games. He just gets the ball and he'll get us a shot, and he'll get to the line, and he'll take big shots. And it's playoff Jimmy's a real thing. And in some ways that felt like a playoff game, like you said, the physicality and how it was kind of a rock fight, frankly, and guys like Jimmy really thrive in these type games.
Steve.
37 minutes for Jimmy Butler. And yeah, tired but tough the Golden State Warriors were, because this did have a playoff feel to it, the intensity. And as we think about tracking for success, courtesy of MyFitnessPal, these were our keys to the game. The Warriors did get out to a fast start, but then, Zena, the rock fight happens.
There you go. I'm erasing this key to success. I'm going to replace it with get out to a fast start. Okay, it might go away, but sustain yourself. Compose yourself. Be able to keep yourself in this fight. Usually earlier in the season, in that mid-season when they were losing games, the Warriors would not have been able to bounce back from the physicality and the consistency of the way that the Pistons were attacking them, and they were able to do that. I love that. Thriving and then thriving in transition. Didn't do great in that category, Kylan. Detroit did their thing. That's why they're leading in fast break points in the last 12 games.
Here's the thing. I think there were definitely ugly moments for the Warriors defense throughout this game. You see 23-7, the Pistons had the edge in fast break points because the Warriors defense was caught sleeping. They were not good enough in transition defense. You have to hustle back. You need to have intensity. You need to communicate. There was a play in that fourth quarter where I looked at Zena and I said, the Pistons got a wide open three, but the Warriors have 4 players back. They made it back in the half court, but nobody is talking about who is guarding who and who's going to go and close out the shooter. And I feel like that was a big, big part of that problem that led to the fast break points, was not just the hustle factor, but also a matter of who is communicating and who's guarding who.
And it was KYP. Chris Mullin always says this. It's know your personnel.
Yep.
Do not leave Malik Beasley just running around free in transition. And if you remember, it was Stephen Curry that had the turnover to lead to that. And he was the one that ended up having to be contesting Malik Beasley. That is, time and place. You got to know your personnel. You got to be in the moment. So that was a moment where they kind of slept a little bit. But again, Warriors found more moments to wake up, like that last play with Moses Moody, like Draymond Green hit
Right.
that
The
three.
defense came through down the stretch, and I think that's what ended up deciding this game. But had they been able to swing the fast break points a little bit, then we wouldn't have been in a clutch game situation, which at some point you hope the Warriors get to a little bit less clutch games, maybe?
Sure.
Good for all of our heart rates and stress levels.
I would appreciate that if it wasn't so darn heart pounding in the last 5 minutes. How about a nice, safe, cushy lead? But minimum, congratulations to the Warriors for getting the W tonight. All right, when we come back on Toyota Warriors postgame, some of the G League role players now stepping into their roles, of course, with Golden State, have really made an impact on winning. Quinton Post in the starting lineup tonight. As you've gotten to know Quinton, why was he so ready for this moment?
He was just one of those players that I think, stepped in and was an NBA player to start. Maybe just had to fix a couple of things, tweak a couple of things, but he was great, top of the key. Actually, he was my first interview down at Santa Cruz, too. So it's been really awesome to see him excel at the NBA level as well.
Yeah.
When you look at, I've been in your shoes before, Drew, and I remember the amount of work that's put into telling these players what you need to do to get to the next level. Being a role player, being able to do the things necessary to get you on the floor. What's that message like these days when you've got 5 players, Yuri Collins and Braxton Keith and Jackson Rowe and Quinton Post? The list goes on of people being able to get called up. What has been that message to be able to get to the Warriors down in Santa Cruz?
I actually think that they don't focus on the NBA stuff too much. It's like, hey, let's put in the work here. There's a reason why we're here. There's a reason we want to get better. And in talking with Yuri Collins, it's actually funny. He said that when the two-way players are gone and playing with Golden State, he's like, we get to play a little bit more free. So I think that each of them working on things that they're trying to get better at has been really good for them and not set their sights all the way over here in the future.
Sure.
Drew, I'm really glad that you got the green memo, obviously. Good thing we all coordinated these looks. I'm just curious for you on this International Women's Day, as we're talking about the roles of different women in sports. What is it like, and what's your favorite part about covering the Santa Cruz Warriors, and maybe any message you have to girls at home?
I have been absolutely loving it so far. It's an intimate community. The fans are great. Everybody within the building is a lot of fun to work with. Kevin Dana taking me under his wing a little bit, so it's been
shout out to KD.
Shout out KD. It's been a lot of fun just to learn a lot, get to know everybody. There's not as much media coverage down at the G League level as there is at the NBA level, so we get to know the players a lot better, get to know the coaches a lot better. After losses, they're okay with still chatting with us. So it's just been a lot of fun to be able to get those reps. And as far as advice to young girls, I think just keep going for it and keep networking and meeting new people, and opportunities will come your way.
Well, you're doing an awesome job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Speaking of coaching, okay, have you gotten to know Nicholas Kerr?
Yes.
And what is his coaching style like?
He's definitely exuberant on the floor. We love Coach Kerr. What I love most about him, though, is he loves talking about his players. I've asked him what's his favorite part of his job, and it's seeing his players succeed, and also seeing what the teammates are thinking and looking at their reactions when the players succeed. So anytime we ask him a question about himself, he kind of just brushes it off. But when it comes to his players, he just kind of smiles. He's always cheesing about them.
Yeah. Has he broken any clipboards?
Not yet, no.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, got it. Drew Jones, everybody. Thank you. We'll see your work tomorrow, and it's nice to have you on set with us. All right, we have the head coach of the Golden State Warriors. It's Steve Kerr with our Natalie Esquire.
Steve, this game went exactly like how you predicted it would go. What does it say about the team that you were able to grind out a win like this, and what do you think was the key to the win?
I think the key was just our resilience. We knew it was going to be a difficult game based on the travel back from New York yesterday and Detroit playing such a physical style and playing at a high level. They've been really good lately. So I loved that our guys stuck with it when things weren't going well, and we were able to come back in that fourth quarter, and a lot of mental toughness.
Thoughts on Stephen Curry reaching the 25K club when you think of the fact that he had those